So I wanted to make this video to get a little bit of help from some of my Hayabusa friends out there on the forum. So what you're looking at here is the gauges out of my 2014 Hayabusa. I have a little over 18,000 miles. I'm the original owner. No electrical mods or anything like that. So this is the second time this has happened. The gauges all function perfectly. All the lights, shift light, time, date, well, it doesn't have date, shift selector and everything. However, the tachometer, as you see right here by my fingernail, that gray smoke, and you see it on the needle right there too, this is the second time it has appeared. First time it appeared at about probably around 10,000, 12,000 miles. I was a little concerned. I'd had the bike more than a year, it was out of warranty. I took them out, took them apart, cleaned it, and put it back together. You can also see the white specks in there on the face. Those were there last time as well too. So I cleaned them all off, put it all back together, and everything was good. You know, I'm not banging this thing off of the limiter or anything like that. Not that that would have any effect. But when I took it apart last time, I was expecting to find like maybe a blown diode or a capacitor or a transistor or something back there in the gauges. No evidence of anything burned or doing anything on the backside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this for a minute. I'm going to take it apart and we're going to look at the inside together. Alright, so we're back for another part. As you can pretty much clearly see, sorry that it's taken a second to come into focus, you can see the matter on the display or on the face. Sorry for the shakiness. There we go, now it's getting in focus. You can see I can take my finger, kind of hard to do this, and I just wiped some of the burn off of the needle. So I'm going to pause this again and I'm going to take it apart to the next level, which is the rest of these screws in the back, so we can actually separate the electronics from the white housing. Alright, so we're back now, final time. This is the tachometer side. This would be about the center where the needle's at. And there is nothing that I can see that it is burned up. We do have a large capacitor over here, but it's more towards the center of the LCD display. Not quite sure what's really going on. Well, I'm going to have to pause again so I can look in here better than trying to look through with my phone. So, alright, so back for the final time. This is what I think it is. So, the fuel gauge, tachometer, speedometer, and temperature gauge all have what looks to be an electric servo in there. Controlled through the ECU or one of the systems. The chip right there. And my guess is, since I don't actually physically see anything burned on the board, anything going bad, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I really kind of got in there with the flashlight and my doctor's eyes and didn't see anything. I'm guessing that the servo is actually failing on this, and it kind of sucks because the first time it happened, the bike was right at a year old. It's borderline to say if it was just after the year or just before. So what's eventually probably going to happen is this tachometer is going to completely quit working on me eventually, I'm sure. But for now, I'll clean it up and put it back together and continue to run it. One thing I'm curious about, I know on some Kawasaki models with electronic gauges, the odometer is followed through the gauges. So that kind of concerns me because I like my mileage. I'm actually trying to accumulate mileage, so I don't want to purchase a set of replacement gauges for Gen 2 that when these die that have less miles than what I have. So if anybody knows the answer to that, if the mileage is in the ECU or is it stored in the gauges, let me know, please.